Hello everyone. This is a video on maximizing concentration during your study blocks to learn quicker and more efficiently. I've used these techniques throughout the IB, taking HL chemistry, math, and biology, and I did an incredible job. I got 7 across all HLs while only studying 1 to 2 hours per day. Let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about determining the environments. Personally, science shows that minimal sunlight is ideal because sunlight is a very attractive source of light, so therefore it will automatically attract the human gaze towards it. This is not good because the task at hand, you're going to lose focus. You want to be looking at your computer screen or your notebook. You don't want to be looking at the sun. In addition to that excessive dopamine release, because of dopamine's push-pull relationship, you're going to get a sudden surge and then a drop. And because it's going to be lower than baseline, it's going to give you almost ADHD symptoms and you won't be able to work. In addition to that, you want to make sure you don't have unpredictable external noises. External noises are okay sometimes if they're constant and they don't seem to distract you. But when they're variable and unpredictable, they can distract you. And one annoying noise can completely take you out of a flow state. This includes shouting, different music that you don't have control of, maybe even outdoor animals. So I would automatically recommend either some wired earphones where you just put them on but you don't actually put music, or you put some white noise if that works for you, or some earbuds. Those are very good. Last thing, you want a minimalistic field of view. So your computer should be in front of you and ideally a white wall around it. You don't want all these objects and distracting figures because the human brain wants to find something to look at other than the screen, because the screen is the hard thing to look at. It's hard to work for hours on end. Your brain's going to want to take some rest and look around. So if you give it less objects to look at, your screen will be the most attractive source in your field of view, and therefore you will be more likely to work. In addition to that, ideally have it centered in your peripheral vision to make it not only the only thing you see, but the center of attention. Alright, let's get into this. Now, a pre-game ritual. This is very important if you're going to go for long hours of studying. First, you want to have a biological signal. This is something you take right before studying, and you want to do this every single time before you're going to study for a while, and your brain's going to subconsciously make the link between this item and studying session. So it's going to get you ready, it's going to get you in the zone. Personally, I used to do Neuromints. If you heard of Neuromints, I'm not sponsored or anything, but they're absolutely great. They have theine and caffeine inside, and they give you that energized but also very stable state of mind. I heard some people that do chicken broth, so they just drink a cup of chicken broth, and because they're so packed in nutrients, it's usually a good biological signal. Maybe even a piece of mint. Anything is great. Secondly, you want to definitely avoid stimulating content. We're gonna go back into the dopamine concept. If you're gonna have a surge of dopamine, it's gonna drop lower than before, and your motivation to work will also be low. That's how dopamine works. So you want to avoid any form of short form content unless it's educational, such as reels. Definitely avoid content such as porn. That's just obvious. It's going to get you completely out of the zone. And even video games, you don't want to be stimulating yourself too much before working, because if you're increasing your dopamine sensitivity, you're going to have more motivation to work. If something like working is going to give you a better peak in dopamine, you're going to get more fulfillment just from studying itself, and you won't need to look around for all these external sources. Last thing, recommended by my friend Reese here, it's getting in the zone. It's telling yourself, if I'm not going to study now, when will I study? It's all about self-affirmations and telling yourself, this is the best time to study. Thinking about the potential rewards that come behind this study session and how it's going to benefit your future self. This is very important because discipline is great and all, but without that initial motivation, you will get nowhere. Last thing, how to study. We're going to get into the fundamentals of study for at least mathematics and chemistry. I use the 90-10 technique. I don't know if this is a real technique, I just call it the 90-10. This is for units that you've already covered in class once or twice. You're just going to spend 10% of your study time just by reviewing and relearning the content. This could, grasping your notes, looking at them, watching some short videos, just reminding yourself what we're going to hop into. And the other 90% of the time, you want to be doing practice questions. You want to be really challenging yourself. You want to solve something. And use the mark schemes to guide you and remodify your mistakes to subconsciously fill in the gaps in your brain and automatically become better at that unit just from doing practice paper questions. In addition, you want to vary your sources. They need to be very different, because if you're getting all your questions from the same source, they're probably written in a specific way. And if you're not versatile in your form of adapting to these types of questions, then during the exam you're gonna have this shock that's gonna slow you down and stress you out. So you want to be used to taking questions from different sources, because they're always going to be written in a different way, even though it's the same type of questions, and you have to learn to adapt to these different verbalized questions. And last thing, you want to focus on your weaker units, because there will be higher reward, obviously. If you're always studying the things you're already strong at, then really, what are you improving in? It's a question of plateau and finding the areas where you have the largest space to fill in and improve at. In addition, usually when you're working on these weaker units, they're going to carry on to a lot of other units just by principles of fundamentals and studying on your foundations and your base. Well, that's the end of the video. I have my friend Reese here, who also did an amazing job in the IB. Do you have any word to input on my presentation?
Yeah, most of your studying or your actual revision for your work is going to be done in class. So if you start with that there, locking in class, listening, most of your studying is already complete, and you just have to do whatever extra at home, studying, doing essay outlines for history, past papers, IB docs, prediction exams, practice exams on Revision Village, Grade Gorilla, short quizzes, things like those there.
And we must tell them the importance of exercise.
And exercise to maintain a strong, healthy mental space, and also to separate yourself from constantly studying, because if you just study, you're going to drain yourself and deplete yourself of energy. You're going to have all these
of course taking rest days, doing the sabaf. One rest day a week is usually ideal. Some people like to take more, some people like to take less. It's all about your persona and how much you can handle in a given time. And yes, exercise is fundamental, because a calm mind will go so much longer. It will endure so much more in the long run. And the discipline for training sports every day is going to carry on to studying also.
Exactly.
I say we wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first short form, low stimulation video where I avoid to put any music, sound effects. I didn't edit anything. No bullshit. Just talking straight to the microphone with you guys. Prepared a small presentation. Hope you guys enjoyed it.